All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, taught me his truth, peace, and citation to those of the hopeful elect. I just want to go in through the spirit, all right, concerning, pretty much we must continue to worship the Lord through the good and the bad. All right, we have to continue to worship Yahweh Shema Shai through the good and the bad, because us serving the Lord, all right, on the contrary, to the Christians, all right, and the people of this world, they believe that when you serve the Lord, everything is supposed to be all peaches and cream all the time. You're supposed to be doing good monetarily. You're supposed to be doing good, all the way around, but that's not the case. All right. The scriptures tell you when you serve the Lord, the Most High is going to try you. Okay. He's going to try your spirit to test your integrity. And that those trials come in many different afflictions. Okay. So it's not going to be all good all the time. But the point is we must continue to worship the Lord through the good and the bad. So I want to get Job chapter 1, because Job is a perfect example of our forefathers that, he kept his integrity in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, he was indeed a man of the Lord. Okay, and he was tested. Okay, and he passed this test. So we're going to read, what spirit that Job was in. Okay, that we should be in, me including myself. All right, so this is Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. All right, so Job, he was perfect and upright. Okay, he was a righteous man. All right, he feared Yahweh Shema Shai, and he eschewed evil. Okay, when you look up that word eschewed, it means to depart from evil, to pretty much stay away from evil. Verse 2, it says, and there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she asses and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men in the east. All right, so Job, he was not only righteous, but he was also very wealthy. Okay, he was very wealthy. He had a great household. He had a lot of sons, and daughters. He had a lot of children. All right, it said he had 7 sons, 3 daughters. He had all this wealth. All right, and yet he still was a man of the Lord. He still feared Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, I'm gonna continue to read. Verse 4, and his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat. And it says, and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were done about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed the Most High in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. So Job, he was offering up sin offerings, just to cover all the bases, for his children, man. All right, that's how righteous Job was, Verse 6, it says, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Okay, so it said there was a day when it says the sons of God, which are the angels, pretty much. All right. And it said that Satan came also among them, because Satan is also a son of God. Satan is also, an angel, man. All right. On the left hand side. And Satan, the spiritual demon Satan can't do anything unless Yahweh Shema Shai, gives him the go ahead to do so. Okay. Not like the Christian church where they say, oh, Satan rebelled against the Lord. That's a lie. That's a fable, a fairy tale. Okay. In actuality, the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, controls all things. He controls, the good and the bad. All right. Let me get a quick precept and bounce back just to prove the point that the Lord controls the good and the bad. All right. Bear with me real quick. It's in Exodus. This is this is in Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See, now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So Yahweh Shema Shai is the only true power, all right, that exists. It's Yahweh Shema Shai, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? And he is the issue of life or death, or somebody gets injured, all right? Or somebody gets healed. So good and bad ultimately comes from Yahweh Shema Shai. Satan is just an angel on the left-hand side, to bring the Lord's judgments pretty much. So going back to Job 1 and 6, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So Yahweh Shema Shai told Satan that, okay? The spiritual demon say, Yahweh Shema Shai said, has thou considered my servant Job? And spiritually, we are currently, we're living in the end times. All right. We're in the same stead as Job. We're spiritual Jobs because, we want to serve Yahweh Shema Shai to the best of our ability. All right. We want to be as perfect, as possible. Of course, within our balance. Okay. Within our measure. But we want to strive for perfection. Okay. So Yahweh Shema Shai is going to try us, okay, being in his truth. All right, let me get a quick precept, because the Lord, he said, has thou considered my servant Job? All right, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So when you come to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, it says, prepare thy soul for temptation, because those different temptations are going to come from these different evil spirits that try to, to make you throw away your integrity. Okay. To try to make you throw away your righteousness. Okay. But ultimately, those different temptations, come from the Lord. All right. Because the Lord is trying our spirits. Okay. So going back to Job 1 and 8, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? It says, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. All right, so that's what Satan said to the Most High, because Satan's job is to try to, sift the elect, pretty much. Satan's job is to try to tempt the elect and ultimately try to sift them, but it's already written that the elect are going to overcome. All right, when they're going through these different diverse temptations, these different afflictions. Okay. But it's necessary, to the men of the Lord, these different, it could be anything, financial woes, your car breakdown, just catching hell. All right. It's beneficial because, through that, the Lord proves that you are a man of the Lord, because when you're going through these actions, when you're going through these afflictions, your true actions is going to show whether you are faithful to the Lord or not. Okay, that's why Job said, pretty much, that's why Satan said to the Most High that if you were to take away Job's substance, and everything that he had, then Job would curse the Most High to his face. That's what the spiritual demon Satan said, because that's his job, to try to, sift the elect. All right, because Job will represent an elect man. Verse 11, it says, but put forth thy hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Verse 12, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So Yahweh Shema Shai gave the spiritual demon Satan to go ahead, to mess up Job's finances. All right. To pretty much, take away the substance that Job had. I'm going to continue to read down. It's at verse 13. It says, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven, and hath burnt up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I am only escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldees made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy son and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So just like that, all at once, everything was all good, but then all at once, that hell just fell upon Job, man. All right. Job lost everything. He lost his children, man. Okay. So that goes into being tempted. All right. I'm going to continue to read. Verse 20, it says, then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell upon the ground and worshipped. All right. So that action right there is going to separate, 2/3 of Israel from the elect. All right. Because, people in the world, 2/3 of Israel, Jakes, that go to church. All right. As soon as they start catching hell, they want to start blaming the Most High. All right. But when they doing good, they don't even want to think about the Most High. But all of a sudden, when they doing bad, they want to call upon the Lord. All right. But when they doing good, they're not even thinking about Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. But Job, on the other hand, he worshiped the Lord when he was doing good. All right. And then when the Lord took everything that he had, he still worshiped Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. And that's how we have to be, in this truth, because, those different trials and tribulations are going to come our way. OK, we're going to lose family members. All right. We're going to be persecuted. All right. These things are going to just show up, to our front door, so to speak. All right. And through these things, are we going to keep our integrity? That's the point. It says we must, the title of the lesson is we must continue to worship the Lord through good and the bad. All right. So, we're serving the Lord right now in hopes to be delivered. But when that trial and tribulation come, we have to keep the same integrity that Job kept. All right. So I'm going to continue to read Job 1:20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell upon the ground and worshiped. So Job, he started worshiping Yahweh Shema Shai. And let's see what he said. Verse 21, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly. All right, so Job, man, that's a perfect example, of how to be when we're catching hell in its truth. All right, because we haven't caught, hell just like Job has. All right, where we just completely just lost everything. But the Lord is gonna try us. All right, we're gonna be put through different fiery situations, man. All right, where things is gonna be taken from us. All right, and we have to keep our integrity just like Job has. All right, of course, right now we're going through the furnace of adversity. All right, but it's only gonna it's only gonna escalate. It's only gonna get worse. So I want to get back in the book of Sirach, chapter 2. And continuing on to verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. All right. And that's what Job did. All right. He set his heart aright. He didn't curse the Most High or charge the Most High foolishly. He said that, pretty much, Yahweh Shema Shai, I came into this world with nothing. I'm gonna lead this world without anything. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. All right. So when we're going through these things, we have to cleave unto Yahweh Shema Shai. We have to seek him even more, call upon his name and pray, to him even more, even going into fasting, So going back to Job, this is the second chapter. It says, again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So the Most High, said that a second time. Because Job, he still kept his integrity. All right. But Job's, tests, those different tests, wasn't finished. That's why the scriptures tell you in Sirach 2 to cleave unto the Lord. All right. And constantly, pretty much constantly endure. Cleave unto him and depart not away. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, because these tests are going to continue to come all the way up until the elect be delivered into the chariots. All right. That's when the temptation is going to cease, because, Lord's will be that number. Once we get delivered up into those chariots, we're going to have that heart of flesh, meaning we're never going to sin. We're never going to go off. All right. Temptation is going to have no effect upon us. All right. Because we're going to be completely righteous. All right. So back to Job. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. All right. So Satan, he tried to come one way, and then he couldn't get to Job. All right. Job still held his integrity. So now Satan's going to come another way, just like in his truth, man. All right. You might you say you might want to read. You want to get more reading in, more studying. All right. But for some reason, there's so many different distractions. All right. Those different distractions is the spiritual demon Satan ultimately. All right. Or say you start reading more, and then all of a sudden, you find it hard to try to put your lessons up, your videos up. That's Satan coming in a different, trying to hit you in a different angle. All right. So that's why we have to call upon Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right. Because, praying and continuing to worship the Lord, through these different bad, so to speak, situations. All right. The Lord, he's going to increase us. He's going to give us more spiritual attributes to be able to, pretty much, you know, overcome, whatever Satan is trying to throw at us. I'm continue to read. It says, verse 5 in Job 2:5, it says, "But put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse the Most High and die." So Job, he caught even more hell. Here it is. He just lost his children. He lost all his substance. Okay, and then now he's been stricken with boils, all over his body, man. And then his wife comes up against him. His wife comes up against him, and says, "Curse the Most High and die." All right, which shows you that women are indeed the weaker vessel, man. All right, because when everything was going good, there was no problem. But now that, these different trials and tribulations and came down, all right, the woman, she was quick to turn her back on her husband. She told Job to curse the Most High and die. All right, which shows you that a lot of these women can't withstand that furnace of adversity. But Job, this is what Job said. Okay, even all these things are happening to him. He don't know why it's happening to him. All right, but he still trusted in Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's how we have to be. Job 2 and I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive the Most High shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips." Okay, so that's the point. All right, when we come to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, we're gonna receive good, but we're gonna receive evil. All right, but through that, we still have to keep our integrity. All right, we still have to keep pushing, because we're trying to make it to that finish line, which the finish line is receiving that salvation. Okay, when Yahweh Shai comes back with the holy angels, because the trials and tribulations don't just stop here. All right, we're gonna enter into the times of tribulation, where Esau is gonna deem us so-called terrorists. Esau, he's gonna make up different lies. Okay, and then even going past that, all right, America's gonna collapse, and there's gonna be different martial law troops. Okay, there's gonna be race riots, danger all around the corner, famine, all right, pestilences. Okay, and through these things, a lot of people we know is gonna perish. Okay, a lot of our family, is gonna die. All right, everybody, so through all these heaviness that's coming, all right, we have to remember, to keep our integrity in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, keep serving the Lord until the end. All right, because Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that's bringing the destruction. All right, because this world is wicked. All right, so whatever is put in front of us as a test, some brothers might even get locked up into a FEMA camp. Some brothers might be, martyrs, have to go under the guillotine. All right. But even in that, still have to keep our integrity in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Because the Lord promised that those that are faithful are going to receive eternal life, man. And that's why we're fighting. We're not fighting in vain. All right. The scriptures say that the Lord is not unrighteous to forget our works and labor of love. All right. Why? Because there's a reward for the things that we're doing. There's a reward, all right, for serving Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right. So Job, he kept his integrity. He said, "Shall we not receive, good from at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil?" Because the Lord deals with balance. All right. If you was doing good all the time, you would end up talking about in this kingdom right now. If you receive good all the time, you would end up losing focus on the goal at hand, the mission at hand, which is to push out these videos. All right, do the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. If you was doing good, you wouldn't be worrying about doing the work. You'd be trying to go on a vacation or something. All right. But then the Lord, brings these different, trials upon you. All right. So your spirit can come back down. All right. I want to get a quick precept real quick. It's in Ecclesiastes 7:2. It says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." All right. So the Lord, he does these things. All right. Puts us through the furnace of adversity. Okay. So that we can have a lowly mind. Okay. Because this world right now currently is in a house of feasting. All right. They're these different Christians, they over there celebrating Christmas. All right. They're living it up right now. All right. Not even worrying about serving Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. And they're going to be destroyed. All right. They're going to be destroyed in their unfaithfulness. They're going to be destroyed in their wickedness. All right. But the Lord, has his servants in a low state, where we have to cry unto the Lord day and night for all the abominations that be done in the midst or around us. Because we understand that this place is a wicked world, man. All right. So it says, verse 3, it says, "Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better." All right. So it says, by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Why? Because you focus on what's really important, man. All right. You focus on what's really going on, and you start looking eternally on things that you can improve on through that sorrow. How you can serve the Lord even more. All right. Because, these different temptations that the Lord puts us through is not to destroy us. All right. But it's for us to get closer to him. It says, I'm going to read that again. Ecclesiastes 7:3. "Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better." Okay. So our minds are made better when we go through these different situations and we call upon the Lord. Okay. That's how we gain faith in the Lord, in Yahweh Shema Shai. That's how we gain faith, experience. Okay. That's how we gain more endurance. All right. By keeping our integrity when the Lord is trying us. So I want to get another precept. Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. All right. Proverbs 3. And I'm going to start at Proverbs 3:11. It says, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth." All right. So the Lord, he does things to certain times to chastise us. All right. Because we're not perfect living in this world. We're living in the Esau society where we can't follow the laws 100%, and there's temptation all around us, to try to make you indulge in evilness. All right. So trying to stay spiritual, trying to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, we're not going to do it perfect like Yahweh Shai did when he was on the earth. All right. So the Lord, does certain things. All right. You might get rebuked. All right. You're to humble you. OK. The Lord does these things, to correct you, and also so that you can continue to grow. All right. So you can continue to produce more fruit. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighted." So, if the Lord, is correcting you, all right, if the Lord is putting diverse temptations in front of you, you know, and you're suffering for righteousness' sake, you still serving the Lord, you're calling upon the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, ultimately the Lord is doing that because he loves you. All right. Verse 13, it says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom and the man that getteth understanding. Okay. And through these different temptations and going and staying faithful, all right, to Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord increases our wisdom and understanding. Okay. Which in return, when that evil day comes, Jacob's trouble, that wisdom and understanding is going to be the stability of thy times. All right. And when the evil day come, the elect is already going to be prepared for a great tribulation. The elect is already going to be prepared for when all hell break loose. Why? Because the elect are going through, the adversity now. All right. The elect is being built up. So let me get another precept. Bear with me real quick. This is Philippians chapter 4. And I'm going to start at 12. It says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Okay, so we're going to be both. Sometimes we're going to be doing, good. We're going to be in a better mood. All right, but then other times, we're going to be in a sorrowful state. We're going to be in a lower state, and the scriptures say it's better to be in that lower state, that sorrowful state. All right, because in that the heart is made better. You become more wiser. All right, you cleave unto Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, you get into the scriptures. All right, you start building up your spirit. Okay. So Philippians 4:12, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. So we have to know how to do both. Okay. All right. Like the title says, again, it says we must continue to worship the Lord through the good and the bad. All right. So it says, everywhere and in all things, I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry. All right. So the Apostle Paul, he said, I'm instructed to be both, both full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. All right. There's going to be times where it feels like we ain't got what we need, and we calling on Yahweh Shema Shai, but the Lord, he always comes through, never on schedule, but always on time, because everything is on Yahweh Shema Shai's time. And the scriptures say that the Lord shall give every needful thing in due season. I forgot what scripture. I think that's an apocrypha, but the Lord said he gives every needful thing in due season. Okay. And that's to those that call upon his name in truth and sincerity. So going back to the book of Sirach, chapter 2:1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So we have to be prepared for the things that are ahead of us. Esau, he's going to say all manners of accusations upon, the body of Hamashiach. All right. We got to get our minds ready to be pilgrims upon our earth. All right. It says, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right. We got to prepare our spirits, for our faith to be tried. Okay. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. All right. How you set your heart aright, is by, getting into the scriptures. It says, and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. So when these trials and tribulations come upon you, you can't make haste. All right. You read Job, the book of Job. Job didn't just, I'm catching hell. Let me just, stop doing what I'm doing. Let me not worship the Lord. Job didn't do that. Instead, Job continued to worship Yahweh Shema Shai. Job continued to give praise unto the Lord's name. It says, and make not haste in time of trouble. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And when you read the book of Job, at the very last end, Job, he got everything back and even more. All right. Which is going to represent the elect. All right. all the stuff that everything that the elect has left on this side, because, our lives is Lord's will be that number. All right. But our lives is hid in Hamashiach. So we don't have a life on this side. All right. Our life is to serve Yahweh Shema Shai and to do his will. And once, Yahweh Shai comes back to deliver the elect, then that's when we're going to live. All right. We're going to be able to be on permanent vacation, so to speak, in the kingdom of heaven. All right. We're going to be able to enjoy our children. All right. We're going to be able to enjoy our wives. All right. So verse 2 Ezra 2 and 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So we have to cleave unto Yahweh Shema Shai all the way up into the end, man. All right. That's why the scriptures say, hold fast which thou hast. All right. And what does that mean? Hold fast is truth. It's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. Hold fast, praying to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. All the things that the Lord commanded us to the best of our abilities. Verse 4, it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Okay. And a lot of things have fell upon Job, man. All right. But, through the Spirit, he just took it, and he was patient when he was changed to a lower state. Verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. So the Lord's elect is likened unto gold. All right. And all the things that's about to come upon the men of the Lord. All right. Is just a trial of faith, man. All right. That's that trial of faith. OK, but it says acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. OK, so the elect, no matter what, they're gonna come out on top. OK. When they get challenged, all right, the elect are going to overcome those challenges. All right, the elect are going to keep that shield of faith, all right, which is able to quench the fiery darts of Satan, man. All right. Verse 6, it says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. All right. So when you're going through a state of being low, when you're in sorrow, all right, when you're catching hell, all right, we have to continue to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, you can't throw away your confidence in the Lord. You can't throw away your trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. You can't just say, oh, I haven't ate in 3 days, so I'm just, you can't do that, man. All right, you got to pray to Yahweh Shema Shai, because you keeping your faith, you never know. All right, you haven't eaten in 3 days, but then on the 4th day, the Lord could have a whole abundance of food, just because you did not depart from serving the Lord when you was catching hell. All right, then those blessings start pouring in. So we have to remember that keeping our integrity in Yahweh Shema Shai, that's very important. Verse 2 Sirach chapter 2 and 6, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Verse 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall. So we are to, when we're in the lower state, when we're going through Jacob's trouble and it seems like, there's no way out or there's no hope. All right. We have to remember this. It says, ye that fear the Lord, believe him. Salaki, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. All right. So even if it's not happening on our time, we still have to wait on the Lord's mercy, man. All right. We have to wait on Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, to raise us up when we're in the lower state. It says, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Yeah. And don't go aside. Don't just say, oh, the Lord is not dealing with me. I haven't ate in 3 days, or you in a FEMA camp. You're in a FEMA camp, for a certain amount of days, and oh, the Lord ain't dealing with me. Nah, you're supposed to continue to call out to Yahweh Shema Shai, to pray to Yahweh Shema Shai, to trust in him. Okay. Verse 9, it says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Or Salaki, I skipped the verse. Verse 8, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. All right. So believe in Yahweh Shema Shai, and your reward shall not fail. The Lord is not going to have his servants, those that call upon his name in truth and sincerity. The Lord is not just going to have his servants out there, to perish, man. All right. The scriptures say in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that the just shall live by faith. Okay. So you have to have faith that the Lord is going to come through, man. Even in the dire situations we may find ourselves in. All right, verse 9, it says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? For did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right, Salakia. And the answer is, no one. All right, everyone, every man of the Lord, a righteous man of the Lord in the scriptures, they all were delivered by Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right. And we just read one example in the book of Job, the prophet Job, he went through his furnace of adversity. He kept calling on the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, and the Lord didn't forsake him. OK. So I'm going to give verse 11 and I'm going to begin to close it out. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. All right. So the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, he saveth in time of affliction. All right. So we're gonna find ourselves in a time of affliction. We're gonna be afflicted. Okay. But through keeping our integrity and our faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord is going to save us out of that suffering. All right. We're going to suffer. We're going to go through affliction, but the Lord is going to save us out of those, those afflictions, So I'm going to get one more precept, Lord's will. I'm going to, close it out. I pray this lesson, be edifying. Bear with me real quick. This is in 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras. Let me get that Apocrypha real quick. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 27. It says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh. All right, because we're going to be, we're going to be put in different situations, man. We might not know where we're going to lay our head, or, people is going to be dying left and right. It says, but the scriptures say, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So the Lord is going to make sure that his servants are going to be taken care of, man. All right. It's just that the Lord is not going to just have you stroll into the kingdom. The scriptures say, through much tribulation shall ye enter into that rest. You're going to, the elect are going to, Lord's will be that number. The elect is going to go through much tribulation, man. All right. Constantly, But the Lord also promised us that if we keep our integrity, the Lord, he's going to make sure that we have abundance. Okay. It says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Verse 28, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. All right. So even in that time of Jacob's trouble, where the Lord, he's going to make sure his men got, tons of food, because abundance, that word abundance means to have more than what you need. So you're just going to have a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of, you might got bottles of a yayan. All right. You're going to have multiple wives during that time. Isaiah 4:1 is going to come to pass. All right. And these other heathen nations, all right, including, 2/3 of Israel, because 2/3 are going to perish, and their mindset is after the mindset of a heathen. Okay. They will be considered uncircumcised of the heart. They will be considered, heathen, because they're not following the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. So during this time, these other heathens are going to envy thee. I'm going to continue to read verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. Verse 29, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. All right. So the Lord, The Lord's his hand represents Yahweh Shai. All right, and Yahweh Shai, he's going to keep his angels, over the elect. All right, so the elect is going to be preserved until that salvation. I'm gonna get another precept. This is Psalm 91. This is Psalm 91 and 10. It says, "There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways." All right. So, having the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you're going to understand that the angels are there. All right. That Yahweh Shema Shai is there, and that, the situations that we find ourselves is written in the scriptures. All right. So understanding that is going to keep your mind stable. And then whatever is brought in front of you, you're going to understand, okay, this is just a test. All right. Whatever losses that you take, you're going to understand, okay, I have to endure. All right. I have to look at the men of the old. All right. Remember the scriptures. All right. And remember to keep my integrity, man. All right. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is a man that he should not lie. All right. Everything that he says is going to come true, including the blessings. All right. So I pray that this lesson be edifying. I just want to go in through the spirit. I want to say, call halal Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Chakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, time of the truth. Peace and citation to those of the hopeful elect. Shalom.